useless!
What's going on, guys? You're chilling with Trainers Abza, and today I have got an RU. That's right, RU battle for you. Now, looking at my team, allow me to explain. This is a Jolly Banded Minccino. I could have gone for U-turn, but I actually opted for knockoff because I didn't really care about the initiative so much as switch initiative, so much as I cared about getting off more damage, and I thought that knockoff, yeah, sure, it's overused a lot, but this is the only thing on my team that has it, so I figure I'm okay as long as it's the only thing on the team that does use it. Next, I've got a Gligar. It's a weird set. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's like my best set ever, but what I have it is, I have it so it can take some special hits, not a lot, some, as well as all physical hits, and has a decent amount of HP. And it's also a defogger, so that's a good thing. But the bad thing is, it means it's not immune to poison, or toxic, really. Next, we've got Unburdened Sceptile, which used to run Solar Beam with Power Herb, but then someone was kind enough to point out to me that Sceptile got Leaf Storm, and that White Herb would probably be the better option. And man, was it the better option. Especially defensive Registeel, and right before this battle, exactly before this battle, I switched out Thunder Wave for Earthquake on this Registeel, and holy crap, did it make a difference. You guys will see in the battle. Especially offensive Delphox, which is a really weird set. I mean, it's gimmicky. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's kind of a gimmicky set, but so far I haven't been able to find any drawbacks. Cause sure, people can run Solar Beam with Magician, but for some reason, this set just seems to work for me. I don't know why, I don't know how, it just somehow does. And finally, physically defensive Alomomola. I'm sorry to cower, I needed something with a high HP and could Wish Pass, and, well, besides Delphox, this was it. But now looking at my opponent's team, threats. For once in my life, I'm gonna say Smeargle is a threat, because my team does not like Sticky Web. Delphox, Sceptile, and Minccino, or Cinccino, whichever one it is, are all crippled by Sticky Web. Definitely Raikou, because Sub-Calm Mind is such a bitch of a set, and it's so hard to get rid of considering the only Pokemon on my team before this battle was Gligar that had a ground-type move. And Gligar got knocked almost completely out with HP Ice. But since I put Earthquake on Registeel, now I actually have something for it. And I guess the final threat would probably be Pyroar, considering I know how fast that thing is, and it's actually got some really good special attacks, so people say that its move pool is pretty shallow, but with that much special attack, with the dual stab it has, I feel that it doesn't really need that much of an expansive move pool. It comes in, it Fire Blasts, it does massive damage, that's all it needs to do. But enough with that, let's get to the battle. Today's battle is against Dotsmith, who I've actually battled quite a few times on this channel, but I've never been able to beat him. I'm going to start off with my Minccino or Cinccino. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. As he starts off with Smeargle, I actually predict him to lead off with Smeargle. That's why I led off with something that could take him out despite his probably Focus Sash. As he goes into a Sableye and not wanting to mess around, no over predictions first turn, I go for the Tail Slap, but doesn't affect him. And he predicts my switch into Delphox and goes for Knockoff, which is super effective. I managed to get a crit on the Fire Blast, which is great because it actually gets off a little additional damage, and I'm able to steal his item with Magician, so, you know, good for me. I'm actually surprised I was able to take any kind of knockoff hit. But I'm going to be able to bring in my Sceptile now and scare it out as he brings in a Scavalier, and I go for a Giga Drain just to try and knock it out because I thought that maybe it would try to Prankster recover. But he makes a smart play and just goes into his Scavalier, which is going to quad resist it, and there's no point in staying in. Here he predicts my switch into Registeel, which is a good move, but no, I knew that my Gligar, even if he went for a knockoff, which he does now, my Gligar can still wall or check this Scavalier pretty damn well. Not only that, but I'm able to defog or get off rocks or whatever I want to do. Now, this Hitmontop, not really a big issue for me as I go for the Earthquake. It's kind of iffy. The Intimidate doesn't affect me because of Hypercutter, and the reason I have Hypercutter is, again, defog is only available in 4th gen, where I can't get immunity from its Dream World ability. He goes for Rapid Spin, gets rid of the rocks, no big deal. And seeing that I'm Hypercutter, he's going to pull back. He could have gone for Toxic. I'm assuming he has it. He's going to pull back and go into his Kanga Artist, his Smeargle. And my guess is he just wants to get off his Sticky Web again. And I think that's okay as long as I get in a Pokemon before he sets it up. because I'm trying to find an opportunity to bring in my Sceptile and start cleaning up. I go for the Focus Blast, and it misses. Son of a gun. That sucks. And he's able to set up his rocks, and seeing the Focus Blast, he's going to go into a Sableye, and that's not good news for me. This time, I just go for the Hidden Power Rock to try and to break the Sash. That way I can go for another Focus Blast later, so that was just luck on my part. I actually wasn't trying to go for another Focus Blast. So he brings in his hard counter, pretty much, his Escavalier, because I have Hidden Power Rock, not Hidden Power Fire. The Hidden Power Rock is for better coverage with, like, flying types, but the Hidden Power Fire would have been useful in that situation. And he like, doubles out into his Raikou, predicting my switch into my Highlander, my Gligar. And here's the interesting part. I know he has Ice, or Hidden Power Ice. Just from what he did there, the way he was trying to lead me out into it, he wants his Sticky Web up, and he wants me to, he wants to stop me from trying to get rid of it. But no, I'm going into my Walls for Days, Registeel tanks the HP Ice like it's nothing, and I'm going to be able to go for the Earthquake. Now this terrified me. Substitute, this is definitely Sub-Calm Mind Raikou, and like I said, I just put Earthquake on this Registeel before the battle, because I was afraid of Sub-Calm Mind Raikou. And not only that, I didn't get a chance to put any PP ups on it, so it's still at 10, and with Raikou's pressure, if he wanted to, I was terrified, but he could have PP stalled me. And throughout the stream, I was just telling him, dude, it's not going to work, it's not going to happen, you can sub all you want, I'm just going to break it with the Earthquake. And that was a complete bluff. I was just trying to get it into his head that he would not be able to out-sub-stall me with my Earthquakes. And I am so glad it worked, because the way it is now, I have just enough to break 5 subs, and he has enough to break 5 subs, or make 5 subs, so that could have ended very badly. Anyway, he goes into his Hitmontop on the Earthquake. Intimidate doesn't work because, you know, Clear Body. And I'm guessing he just wanted to force me out, and, well, it kind of works, because I don't want to, it works, I don't want to take a close combat to the face. So I bring in Highlander. This is also a good opportunity for him to try and get rid of my Sticky Webber. Man, he is really trying to kill my Gligar. He does not want me to defog. As I go into my Alomomola, because looking at his, you know, if you remember from the team preview, there wasn't a whole lot of physical attackers on his team. So I think that Alomomola is probably the most expendable thing I have on this team, because he won't be able to hit, he won't be able to wall as much, considering the rest of them, most of his team is special attackers. But Alomomola goes down to a combination of Fire Blast and Hyper Voice. I did not expect it to survive. As I go into my, as I go into my Chinchilla, you know what? As I go into my What Am I? Now I realized why I nicknamed it that. And I'm able to scare him out with the potential Rock Blast as I do go for it. And here's the thing, I don't know if he either forgot about his own Sticky Web or thought I was Jolly Scarf, because if I was Jolly Scarf, I could actually outspeed him since he was Life Orb. But the thing is, I'm Jolly Banned, so that was actually a pretty big risk I took, and it could have easily backfired. But thankfully, it does force him out into his Hitmontop. I'm able to go into my Highlander as he goes for the Toxic, which I don't know why he didn't go before. He could have. I guess he just wanted to. Whatever he was doing, it kind of worked. It put a lot of pressure on me. But I am able to go for my Defog now, get rid of the rocks. Thank God. I don't really care about the Toxic. At this point, I can let my Gligar die. And as you can see, I get really low. And I really had to make a smart choice here. I could either go for more damage with Earthquake, or I can set up my rocks. Either way, next turn I'm dying to the Toxic. So I look at his team, I still see that Smeargle. I know that its Sash isn't broken. So I go for the Earthquake just to get off damage in case he wants to bring in the Smeargle or stand with Hitmontop, but I managed to break the Sash on his Smeargle, and no Sticky Web for you. Bringing in my What Am I? Gonna go for some Rock Blasts, at least I think I am. I don't think I went for... Oh, I went for Knockoff, I'm sorry. I guess that is... I went for Knockoff, I think, just because that was a 100% accuracy move. Because looking at most of the moves that it gets, it has a lot of moves I can miss, and I couldn't afford to miss that time, so I went for the Knockoff. Which I knock off the Escavalier's Assault Vest, which is great. And predicting him to go for another drill run here, I switch out from my Registeel into my Sceptile, as he actually pulls back and goes into his Raikou. Now, I know I can take one Hidden Power Ice. I just need to take one. Then I can pretty much sweep the rest of his team if I can take one. So, I predict him to try and knock me out. However, he goes into his Hitmontop, gets the Intimidate off, and he's going to burn my white herb before I get a chance to use it myself with Leaf Storm, which is an absolutely fantastic play, man. I don't know I don't know how you did it, but that really made the difference. So in comes Pyroar. I'm guessing he's trying to force me out, but even though Hidden Power Rock won't knock him out, he knows I have the Focus Blast, so I don't know why he didn't predict me to go for it. Because at that range and Pyroar's mediocre defenses, I was almost positive I can knock it out with a Focus Blast. Even though I have half a special attack, I was pretty sure a super effective 120 power move would have done it. But I knock out a Smeargle, he brings in a Scavalier, he misses the Mega Horn, awesome. That makes up for the miss I had earlier with Focus Blast. And I'm able to get off some damage with a couple more Focus Blasts, which I miraculously hit. But Sceptile goes down to Mega Horn, no big deal. I still have my What Am I? Go for the Rock Blast, and I know that it's going to knock out this Cavalier, no problem. And in comes the Raikou, and I can't risk missing. I can try, but I'm not going to. He no longer has Sticky Webs, which means I outspeed pretty much everything on his team, except for this Raikou, which I speed tied with. So he's going to go for Thunderbolt. I do not care. I am going to go for my Earthquake to get off some massive damage, because right now my Minccino or Chinchino is my win condition. I cannot let it try and speed tie with his Raikou, and he knows this, so he goes into Pyroar. But my Earthquake is going to be enough to knock him out. So down goes Pyroar, and now all he has left is Raikou, which I can knock out with an Earthquake, thankfully. So this is GG, man. Even if somehow you manage to survive the Earthquake, you cannot outspeed Minccino, or, yeah, I guess you could, but I doubt a Thunderbolt, unless you got a full Calm Mind, would knock me out. So, GG, really close match, and I finally won! Oh boy, I'm sorry if that last part sounded weird, Dotsmith. It's just, I battled you so many times now that I felt like getting beaten constantly, it was really kind of demotivating. But just seeing that I finally got you at least once, that it made me feel great. I said it during the stream, but it feels good to be able to overcome a challenge, and oh my god, you were one hell of a challenge, man. Oh boy. Oh man, so props to you, Dotsmith. I'm glad I could finally win one. But let's get on to the talk of the day. Today's talk of the day, you know what? I'm so happy that I actually managed to beat him, because Dotsmith is a fantastic predictor. He can really play the game well, and he can get inside his opponent's head, so to say. So what do you guys think of beating someone who you've always wanted to? Let's just say someone who's always beaten you before. Because it's easy to say, oh, I want to beat Shofu, but you never faced him before. No, someone that is like beaten you a few times and you've never really beat them before. Just tell me, how would you guys feel if you finally managed to beat them? Leave your comments down below. I'm really excited to read some of what these have to say. Man, that was such a good battle. These are the kind of battles that make me really excited and get the adrenaline pumping, and it's just, so good. But that's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. Be sure to leave a like, comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. I know they don't have the rating system anymore, but it's hard to stop saying that. Hopefully by the end of the month we can get to 2K, and I will reveal my face on YouTube. So, I hope you all enjoyed this battle, and I will see you next time.